We have new developments this morning in the Israel-Hamas war. An Israeli official tells NBC News that the U.S. and Israeli governments will hold a virtual meeting today to discuss alternatives to a large-scale ground assault on Rafah. It comes following weeks of growing tensions between President Biden and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. As the two countries prepare those discussions, officials in Gaza are racing to send aid to Al-Shifa Hospital. A devastating scene is unfolding there after Israeli troops withdrew from the hospital following a 2-week operation. The UN says at least 21 patients have died since the attack began. NBC News international correspondent Raf Sanchez joins us now from Tel Aviv with the latest. Raf, good morning. First of all, what more can you tell us about this virtual meeting?
Joe, good morning. You'll remember this meeting was supposed to happen last week in person in Washington, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu very publicly canceling it in a show of anger with the United States. That was in protest at the American decision to let that UN Security Council resolution go through, which called for an immediate ceasefire, something the Israelis say will not happen until Hamas is defeated and until the hostages are freed. So the fact that this meeting has now been rescheduled, possible sign Netanyahu trying to lower the temperature after what has been a lot of friction in the U.S.-Israel relationship. We were expecting two of Netanyahu's closest confidants to be on the Israeli side. That's a member of the War Cabinet and his national security advisor. And on the American side, Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, expected to take the lead. And the topic of conversation, this major disagreement between the U.S. and Israel over Israeli plans to attack the city of Rafah. We've talked about this a lot. Netanyahu says the only way to defeat Hamas is to go into Rafah on the ground in a big way. The Biden administration says that will be a disaster, given that there are more than 1 million Palestinian civilians sheltering in Rafah, and that it is the key entrance point for aid to the rest of the Gaza Strip.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.